Mm. Hey, happy Friday afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Michael Brown Show. It's me and Angie. We're at the Western Conservative Summit in the Colorado Convention Center downtown. We are in the exhibit hall, back behind. How would you describe it, Angie? We're just back here in the corner somewhere, right?
I mean, we're not in a corner. We're on a
Well,
wall.
okay, we're on the wall, close to the corner, and we'll be broadcasting here the rest of the evening. And so if you are at the Western Conservative Summit, feel free to stop by and say hello to Angie, or bring us food or cash or gold coins, stickers, swag from the booths, if it's cool swag. Do you collect swag when you go to conventions? I guess when you go to conventions, not really swag, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it's free, I'm going to grab it. How long do I keep it?
Like, then you get back to your hotel room and realize, that's a piece of crap, I don't like that.
Pretty much.
You throw it away.
I regift it.
You regift. Oh, that's a good idea for swag, is to regift it. And I'd also like to introduce, Taylor, come around here so people can see you on our little Mevo camera we got going. We have a temporary intern. You got there, see? Like, yeah, you got to wave or something.
There's a lot of...
Yeah, I know. Maybe he'll step on it and we'll go dark for the next 45 hours or something. So you hear me talk about these friends that we go to dinner with a lot, and this is their son, and he is my favorite non-son son. He's you know Taylor's like the most tech savvy person I know. He can fix anything.
What?
Yes.
So everything you broke over here.
If I'd been thinking I'd have told him to show up early, he would have set this up and with just not even know anything about it. What?
Why didn't you do that?
Well, because I didn't think about it. Because actually I thought I don't think you're going to go down this path. Because I thought we were going to have Ethernet access and an ISDN line,
I never said
so
that.
we could do what we normally do.
I never
And
said
then I got a text message from you like mid-afternoon that said, "Oh, by the way,
Never
there's
said that.
there's only like Wi-Fi and it sucks or something."
Because I found that out this morning from Shannon.
And then you told me like middle afternoon, so I scrambled and I've been wanting
This is
to
what happens when you assume.
and I wanted to, so I scrambled and got the camera because I wanted to test the camera out and see how it works, and it appears to be working on YouTube, but I can't say that it works anywhere else, and I still haven't figured it out. See, I told you people collect swag. So here's Bags, who's one of our account execs, and he's already been walking around the exhibit hall, and it looks like you've got a really nice notebook in camo, and you've got
I got a son in the army.
oh, wait a minute, you have a son in the army, and yeah, I was gonna say he won't wear that because it's not regulation.
No.
So you'll wear it. But what fascinates me is why doesn't your son get you a cap? Okay.
It wasn't as nice as this.
Oh, because he got you regular army
That's right.
cap, and it's not as nice as the swag being given away.
How's that?
And you know what? I have to say this. Bags has now put that on the widest possible opening, and it still doesn't fit his head. Draw your own conclusions. I'm not saying anything. I'm just pointing out something that's factual.
We know what you're saying.
So, anyway, if you are at the Western Conservative Summit and you listen to this program, we're back over here on the. We must be on the east side. Are we on the east side
I can't see mountains,
We're
so I
west
can't
side.
say.
of the hall?
Downtown's out.
Okay, so we came in, we walked down the stairs, we turned to the right.
The mountains are that way.
I'm totally turned around now. So we're on the west side of the exhibit hall.
Yes.
All right. Well, then maybe I shouldn't have been telling people we're on the east side of the exhibit hall because I thought we were on the east side.
You're going to send them to the other radio station that's over there.
No, we're going to go shut them down in a minute.
Okay.
So I got to get my compass out and figure out where I am. That, you're right. See, I told you, smart kid. Oh, you know, speaking of which, I did tell you right side, didn't I? So I have a question for you, Taylor. Because I get in trouble at work for this. Because if anyone who's under the age of, say, 60, to me is a kid. So when I say you're a smart kid, are you offended by the use of the term kid? You're not? Because you know somebody else is. Somebody else is always offended by the use of the term kid. So I'm scared to use the term kid around certain people.
Offended isn't the word. It's just really
Annoying.
It depends on what it is. Yes,
Oh.
I'm just calling you father.
I've never said a word on the air about how old you are.
No, I didn't say that. That's really not what I said.
What did you say?
That was my
Oh, because I can't hear? Is that why you're making fun of me? Because I can't hear?
I try to get you ear,
What, ear?
hearing aids. Trying to
We need a hearing aid company or an audio company to sponsor the program. So if you're out there in Radio Land and you have like an audio company because there's all this fantastic stuff. Remember how they used to advertise like a late night? You don't remember this because you never watched late night TV. But on late night TV, it'd be like the call 1-800 for 1995 you can get. And it would show an old couple sitting.
As seen on TV.
Yeah, as seen on TV, and there'd be like this old couple watching television, and the old man couldn't hear, so he had to put on this thing that was connected by a wire, like a headset, like you and I use, so that he could turn the TV up loud in his headset, so that the wife wouldn't have to listen to the loud noise. Well, now, like Shure and Simpson, what is this called? Simpson-Heiner or whatever. So these are the cheap ones. So like the expensive ones we have at home, it's home studio, they now make like miniature ones and earbuds that are wireless. So I could sit in my chair and I could listen to the TV louder than Tamara listens to it. I want a company like that. They make all sorts of stuff like that now. Why are you giving me that look?
I'm not giving you a look.
You are. You're giving me a look like I'm full of crap.
I'm just thinking it's been way too long. You should probably give us some recognition.
Yeah, what? What'd you say?
What?
You what? Oh. So if you own one of those companies out there and you want to sponsor the Michael Brown Show, give me a call. Shoot me an email. We'll make a deal. I don't want swag. I don't want stuff. But I think some of my audience members could probably use that. Oh, suddenly we're live on YouTube. So what? It must be like a horrible delay or something. I don't know. Sound check. Tap on the camera. Laptop. Headset. There's somebody named Jeff Hammond who's complaining about the sound.
I wonder.
I don't know. Somebody else. Taylor. If you want to mess with it, you're free to mess with it. You think it's the Wi-Fi? You think it's my own Wi-Fi? It's not strong enough?
Oh,
Look who showed up.
You're not on air yet, or what's going on?
Huh?
You on air right now?
Yes, we're on air. Christian Toto showed up. Do we have... Yeah, give those... Do you mind giving those to Christian Taylor? So, Christian Toto... Oh, Lord, he's trying to put on... Oh, my gosh, he doesn't know how to put on the headsets.
No, wait. You can totally sit here.
Lord. Really?
Look. You're talking about.
I'm talking to Christian sitting right over there. He can be the mystery voice that people don't see on YouTube.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
Well, someone moved that camera. Oh, I know, when you sat down, somebody moved it.
Playing us out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I'll
when we come
appear
back,
soon.
yes, Christian Toto will be appearing soon on the Michael Brown Show.
How's your audio? Can you hear yourself okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Can you hear the station okay?
For sure using the right mic.
But like when you're live streaming, is it for sure using the right mic?
Wait, do you have
Well,
live coming up?
we plugged. Oh, do I have lives?
Yes, you have live. Oh,
Oh,
okay, they're all
thank you.
recorded. Okay.
Thank you.
Should I throw this?
Wherever you want to sit.
Can you check?
Oh.
So, This is the microphone that feeds in. This is the microphone line.
Okay.
So I just plugged it into the back of the camera.
Huh.
I don't know. Here's the app that runs the camera.
So you can sit here, and I just gotta be near this.
Am I taking your
Drew,
seat?
thank you for doing
You
that.
can take my seat there.
Sure.
Yeah. Someone leave this. Was this here when you? Like, what is this?
What is it?
It's been sitting here for a long time.
It's not mine.
Pop it.
That's wrong. Oh, you got a tie.
What does that mean?
You're all dressed
I
up.
just gave a presentation.
So
So
it's
it's like it starts at 3. It's like 2:59. There's not a single person in there.
That's because the main speech didn't end until like
Okay.
2:58.
But then it filled up, so it was good. I was like mentally like shot.
Right.
It's like I worked so hard on this stupid.
My dad said it sounds like it's using this mic.
Do what?
My dad said it sounds like it's using this mic, like the mic.
And
built
that's
in.
my guess. Is, but I thought by plugging that in.
Yeah. Have you guys used this before?
No, it is no. Or he's going to National. Or
Why? No. You can't.
oh, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, because we. Can't figure it out.
Hey, Michael. Got time to say hi?
Yeah.
Hi, Doug Elliott. Good,
Oh, yeah,
good,
Doug.
good
How
to
you
meet
doing?
Yeah, it's my wife Jojo here.
How are you?
I can't think of
Just
it. off the top of my
longtime
head.
fan
I
of
know.
you and the show. I just wanted to
Pardon?
say, longtime fan of you and the show.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
Come say
Very
hi.
much. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then shake her hand for putting up with you all this time. So, right?
I know.
Drugs.
It's the truth, isn't it? Drugs and drinking. It's
Sounds like an exit.
Well, I got you guys kind of hidden back here. It's hard to find.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So, you make the best of it and
Yeah.
have fun and
And there's
do what you can do.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by.
Good to be here.
Did you can you tell anything at all from the app?
So it's definitely using this mic. you choose that, it shows up.
Life's
But if you go to
great.
USB,
Well,
it's still.
our house isn't burning down, so that. Or
Because they see it.
How?
oh, look at that! What, I have no
That's
clue
like,
what that
like an
means.
MC Escher. We got a picture within a picture within a picture.
Oh, it is. I have no clue what it means. And look how old the delay,
Okay.
long the delay is. Like we
Okay.
that's amazing.
now-
That's amazing. All right, so you came out. Shut up. Just leave me alone. This is what happens when you do live broadcast.
I know, it's exciting.
Remotes are so bizarre.
Oh, this is what
It's
volume.
like Winter Park.
Well, this is kind of turning into Winter Park.
I should leave now.
The problem is, I don't think there's a bar in here.
There's not. There's no donuts here. Where are the donuts?
There are no donuts. I don't think there's. We could. Taylor, are you old enough to buy liquor? Nope. You're not, Taylor's not even old enough to buy liquor for us, so we can't send. I thought you were. Oh, you're still just. You're not even 20. Yeah, you're just 20.
I like
Wait, don't you have a fake ID or something?
Hey, can you twist your Sonic? Because I think it's good product placement.
Oh, it is good product placement, isn't it?
We could earn some extra cash.
We can't wait.
So,
Do you think the Sonic people will give us any cash? Or
I think they'll pay us not to show.
probably so.
I saw a new movie this week, or it's today, Ocean's 8.
Ocean's
They
8.
all came out.
Right, right.
And there's one scene mid-movie where they all get together to eat. These are attractive, stylish, cool people, like just cutting edge, like the best fashions. They all go into a sub because they want to do the product placement. Just the way it goes.
That's, so tell me about the movie, because they obviously have a huge marketing budget. It's got
Kate Blanchett, Sandra Bullock.
Bullock, yeah, because I actually kind of like Sandra
I
Bullock.
do too. She's great. There's a Asian rapper. Her name is Aquafina.
Does she remember the Slants?
What?
That group. There's a I don't know whether it's heavy metal. Angie, what are the Slants? Are they they're not hip hop.
I thought they were like some kind of rock band.
They are rock, but I'm not sure.
Band.
I
But
think she's more of a
have you
solo.
not heard the story of the Slants? So it's an all Asian band.
It's the First Amendment thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They named their band the Slants. They tried to trademark it, and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office refused to do it, saying it was offensive. And they were like, wait a minute,
We're Asian.
we're Asian.
We're making fun of ourselves.
We're making fun of ourselves.
Yeah.
And so it went, and actually the court ruled, hey, you can't do that. You have no basis in the rules or regs or anything else. And so they were able to claim that as a trademark.
I like that. I'm glad they won.
Yeah, yeah. So
Anyway,
how do we get off on the
We're talking
Slants?
about
Oh, an Asian
Asian,
woman, right.
yeah. And I'm not aware of Aquafina. No, I haven't
Aquafina. With that?
Aquafina. Anne Hathaway's in it. Mindy Kaling.
I don't know who Mindy Kaling.
Sarah Paulson. She's from the New Woman. She's on a sitcom. And it's a heist movie, and the actresses are very talented, and it's very mediocre. It's the kind of movie it's not snap to it. You need great dialogue, you need like amazing visuals, you need like a really cool caper, and everything's just okay. So I don't need it in a
Did you watch it on your laptop or did you go to the theater?
big screen.
The big screen. Do you get? I mean, I know it's your job, but you want the movie to be good.
Oh yeah.
You want all the movies to be good, right?
I mean, ultimately, I am in a theater stuck for 2 hours.
Right.
I don't have a lousy time. I have a great time.
Right. You want to have a great time.
I can be
Plus,
skeptical of it. I can go in with the reviews are bad, the buzz is bad. I kind of just go, oh, here we go. But often, if you get your expectations so low, you're kind of mildly entertained.
yeah.
Even if it stinks.
Right. So with this one, were you mildly entertained?
I was mildly entertained. You could just see where it should be sharp. The joke should land. There's a cameo, but there should have been another cameo. Could be or should be. And
Harvey Weinstein.
That's right. And Sandra Bullock is a good actress. She's got an Oscar.
Right, I like her.
She's trying to be like this super cool, super mellow, like Steve McQueen, and she's not playing it. It's
Oh.
tricky. I mean, not every actress has all the range, and every actor has all the range.
Yeah. So I probably should ask you this off air, but I can't resist. So the movie that you sent me to watch,
Okay.
that's not public yet,
Not
right?
yet. I think it's coming out July 1st. Jack Became Black.
And is that going to be in theaters or
Probably not. I think there's been
because
some
it's more like the documentary?
Yeah, it's got some random screenings, and I think it's gonna be on video on demand in July. And that's where you can like go to Amazon, go to like Vudu, go to other services, maybe Comcast, and you can watch it.
Yeah.
And this is a small film. It's a documentary.
Right.
It's not a splashy presentation, but I kind of thought you would like it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Now, in full disclosure, when I texted you last, I was halfway through it, and now I'm 3/4 the way
Okay.
through it. So I just haven't finished it yet, but it has totally grabbed me, and I can't wait for it to come out because I want us to talk about it.
Yeah.
And if we could get that guy on the air, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't-
little tricky because he's deaf.
Yes.
But if we maybe can Skype back and forth, and then maybe that's the
Record
way I
something.
did.
Yeah, record something.
We'll work out something.
Yeah.
He's a really interesting guy. I've kind of gotten to know him a little bit on Facebook and through emails back and forth. And he is a mixed race man who is deaf, who created this movie based partly on his own family situation. And it's about identity politics.
So we
Why
can
do
talk
we-
about it because
Well,
you
I
are.
mean, we can. And then
Yeah.
also, we kind of talked about it enough, right? I think we need to give a little bit more information
Yeah.
to the listener. But it's really good. I'm going to officially review it later this month. And also, I don't know how far you got into as far as the content, but it's very balanced at times.
Well, I thought it was-
he reaches out to
Yes.
people on the other side of the issue, and it
Yes.
has a very clear, concise debate. He's not name calling. He's
Right.
not doing quick editing to make them look dumb.
Right.
He really wants to know.
He wants to understand
Yeah.
how do we get to this point, and and what's a guy like me who disagrees with
Yes.
this whole thing of and I think to sum it up for listeners, if you think about any form that you've ever filled out where you have to fill out your ethnicity and you see that there's like 47 things listed and this guy is looking at it going, what do I do here?
I think he married a Latina woman. Is that what it was that sort of made the,
Yeah, but
the
aren't they
racial
di-
mix even
yeah,
more
but they're
complicated?
divorced now or something.
Yeah,
as I recall.
yeah. But I think for their children.
His children are beautiful children.
Yeah.
They're so sweet and just and in the movie they're just like, oh my god, I just want to hug them. They're like puppies.
They warmed your cold heart. It's
They,
amazing.
Oh, I hate you. God, I hate you. All right, when we get back, I want to ask you about your Western Conservative Summit
All right.
panel. Why?
Let me wipe the tomato sauce off.
Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. It's the Michael Brown Show. We're live at the Colorado Convention Center. We'll be right back. So you just giving up on this?
We switched, so you're
So did you find anything?
When?
on YouTube and everything. It's using this mic.
What's that?
I don't think the adapter got.
It's like a 30-second delay here.
All right. How much time? How much do you need? Okay. All right. Tell me when you're ready. So that'll do it from the Western Conservative Summit. Angie, thanks for coming out. Christian, thanks for coming out. And sing it, Kate. No, we need it to do it.
getting all excited there for a minute.
Drew, we got Christian all excited. He thought that was it. Christian was packing up and leaving.
Are you Will that comments all the time on YouTube?
Oh, is this Will? Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Goober had to come.
Nice to meet
Good
you.
to meet you.
So what do you do?
I'm a database programmer.
Yeah.
So, like, we're in marketing and so on. And so
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of the manager of our tier 1 support.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
tend to work a little later, and that's why I just like to listen in and snark every now and then.
Oh, I love the snark. I absolutely love the snark.
I didn't remember if you remember this, but I think this is from like your second YouTube broadcast when you still, whenever sound wasn't going on, like you would play a clip and we couldn't hear it. And so I said, you need to make a sign like insert sound clip here. So he writes a little sign.
You can't. That's hilarious. That's classic.
So I've kept it ever since.
Oh, well, Matt, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, yeah.
I was disappointed when I tried to bring those crowns and I get there at like 6:30, everything's locked up, so I just shoved them through the door.
I know. Well, I'm glad you stopped by. It's nice to put a face with the we'll see.
The angry messages, he said.
Yeah, with all the angry messages I send to the goober. It's like, oh, now I know he really is a goober. I met this guy. He's a total goober. He's a database guy, so he is a goober, right?
I have to try to pretend like I'm cosplaying like my favorite radio host. I do my favorite radio producer, but I can't pull off your style. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm so glad you came by. Really am. So, do you work downtown?
No, I work down in Niwot. That's why it took me an hour to get.
You drove all the way from Niwot to the station to bring us those stupid hats.
Oh yeah. That's the
Don't
kind
you
of
feel
dedication
bad?
that we have.
I wasn't there, so I can't feel bad.
Next time I call you a goober, it's going to be in all caps. It's going to be in all caps.
The goober that should have gotten Uber.
The goober that should have gotten Uber, maybe that. Hi, Michael Brown.
Hey, I just heard about Anthony Bourdain. He committed suicide.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had demons, he was depressed. I didn't read the whole story, but it's unbelievable. Seemed like a fascinating
Not
guy.
him.
What's
Oh
that?
my gosh, not him.
And on the surface, he had the greatest job in the world, right? He travels the world, eats great cuisine,
And he was
travels.
a fabulous chef.
I talked a little bit about in the last time about isn't it interesting that it takes two celebrities, and now the media is all focused on a CDC study that's been out for about suicide. It's like, seriously? It takes you. Angie, do you have enough reach that you can take a picture of me and Toto for Instagram?
What do you mean if I have enough reach?
Do you have enough room to? Well, I don't care. You can do it from there. I don't care where you do it from.
Yeah, but don't you want the lovely K-How in the background?
You'd think production would do a little better job.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, it's happy at all. He was miserable. Promotion's supposed to come down at 7.
Well, no, I'm just saying, why doesn't promotions? So you saw that?
I thought it was fixed earlier.
No.
this morning.
No. How many times have we walked out of the studio this week and 760 has that gigantic skin with their logos everywhere, and what do we get? Plastic taped together.
I've been to 710 studios. It's like, not that we have.
One talking about, yeah.
They got like a nice booth.
The sports station that's right next to us at the Death Star.
Yeah.
They have, you know how you set these things up for an exhibit, and you can, it's almost like a scaffolding.
Yeah.
And then you can put everything in. So they have that for the sports station.
Not for us.
The talk station gets double-edged
I'll be right
tape.
here. Get this back.
Oh, sorry.
Alright. Got it.
All right. Is this 2 or 3? 3. Hey, welcome back to the Michael Brown Show, everybody. Happy Friday. We're broadcasting live from the Western Conservative Summit at the Colorado Convention Center. And as most Coloradans know, I think most Coloradans don't know what the Colorado Convention Center is, but they know where the Big Blue Bear is.
That's right. That's enough.
That's all you need to know. The calling card. And by the way, I would just warn people that if you're in a hurry, and so all you do is you pull into the first lot that you see across from the convention center, that's $35.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ouch.
$35.
Yeah.
So
But you get a prime view of the bear.
I have a prime view of the bear, and once all of the workers leave downtown and leave that lot, the car will be in a prime spot for the ne'er-do-wells to break into it and steal everything out of it. So it's like in the perfect position.
The ne'er-do-wells, I
Yeah,
like
the
that.
ne'er-do-wells. So you were here
Yes.
to be on a panel. So when was the panel? Who was the panel with, and what did you talk about?
The panel was 3 o'clock. The panel was just me, myself, and I, running
Oh.
the audio, running everything.
Oh.
And I talked about what I talked about here, about Hollywood, about the messages that are in Hollywood movies, and how a lot of actors hate us. And I hate to say that,
Yeah.
but I read the tweets, I read the comments, I see the messages in their movies, and it's not everyone. In the presentation I talked about Chris Pratt and Dwayne Johnson, how positive and uplifting there are. There's a lot of actors who are they just do their work. They don't insult you, but there's a lot of people who are insulting us. And the state of what's going on in Hollywood and what people right of center can do. Because there are things that we can do. We can support right of center projects. We can maybe give the stink eye to left of center projects. We can create our own art. It can be as humble as a YouTube video. It can be giving money to a Kickstarter campaign. There's lots of ways that we can kind of fight back.
If I were running this summit, which obviously I'm not, as you can tell, obviously not.
King
running.
Brown.
Right, that's right. But if I were king of the day for the summit, I would invite a Nick Searcy. I would invite a few of these people that we know from Hollywood to come to this and to speak and to talk about Hollywood. Their voices don't. You and I know their voices because we follow them on Twitter, and some of them are friends of ours. Blah blah blah. But I think for the vast majority of attendees, they may not know that the Nick Searcys of the world are out there doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
Would.
I didn't reach out to Nick, but I reached out to some other prominent conservatives, including Michelle Malkin, who's great. She lives in Colorado, to get their take on it. What do they advise? Kurt Schlichter had a column I quoted recently, and it's
Kurt's a wild man.
He's a wild man.
Kurt's
yeah.
wild man. I've heard Kurt on the air a few times.
He's great.
And it's like, keep your finger on the dump button.
How about a Kurt Schlichter and Nick Searcy podcast
Oh
show?
my God! Oh,
Like a
Lord.
late night show.
Yeah.
I was just talking to someone who was at the convention here today, the summit, and he's like, wouldn't it be great to have a show with a comedian making fun of every other late night show, their liberal bias, the way they twist the facts? I mean, yeah, that'd be spectacular. It's a great idea. No one's going to do it, but wouldn't that be wonderful? There's so much material. I mean, Stephen Colbert going unhinged every night, there's got to be things you can make fun of about that. Because they're doing it to us. The Colbert Report. Was it called the Colbert Report? Or whatever. That was making fun of the Bill O'Reilly Times.
Yes.
Why can't we get a fight fire with fire? But no one's going to hire that. No one's going to. To me, like Netflix got all this cash, all this programming, all this talent, all this drive, and they keep hiring comedians to do left of center talk shows, and they can do that. That's fine. It's Michelle Wolf. There's Chelsea Handler. How about hiring someone right of center?
Right. Think about building market. If again, if you understand economics, you want to get as much market share as possible.
Right.
So if the pie is 50% liberal, 50% conservative, and all you do is you keep putting your investments on the liberal side, that pie is only so large. Well, how about expanding the market share over on the other side of the pie? I don't know why the Netflixes don't do that, because as a consumer of Netflix, we dig through, we look, we don't find it, and most of the stuff we're watching is, we at some point, we can usually tell within 1 or 2 episodes what's the direction of this. Sometimes within the first 15 minutes, but we'll quit. We're very willing to quit.
A couple points about that. One is actually Roseanne aimed at that other half of the pie, got huge ratings, and now she's gone because of what she did.
Right.
So also, conservatives, we will take crumbs. If a Kanye West all of a sudden talks about, free speech and sort of being more open and not sort of automatically being a Democrat just because you happen to be black, conservatives just rush to him. If Netflix put out one show that was hardcore conservative or even right-leaning, the goodwill that would cause would be enormous. Oh my goodness, we finally got one. Thank you, Netflix. I don't care that Netflix has got every other show. They gave us Dennis Miller Unhinged or whatever.
Right.
Pick a comedian who's right of center. Give him or her a show, and we will be beholden to him. And that would be great. And I don't think if a liberal is like, oh, I'm not going to listen to Netflix anymore because they've got one show. So they may not watch it. But I don't think it's going to steer them away from Netflix.
Any more than it steers me away from Netflix. It just steers me away from certain content.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many people showed up finally? You said when you first started there was nobody there, but people trickled in, right?
I texted my wife at 2:58. I said, "There's no one here. I can't believe this." And then we had a full house. So.
Full house.
Yeah.
So did you do a Q&A?
Yeah.
How did it go?
It was good. It was. They weren't even questions. They were just people were so frustrated, and they wanted me to give answers to things that I don't really want answers for. About there's something about media bias and why don't they cover certain things. I don't know, and I can't stop them. All I can do is say it's the internet. We can make things. Conservatives have to make these different organizations, these different media centers to go around the gatekeepers because we can do that now. Technology exists. I don't have an answer for why ABC, NBC, CBS does what they do. I'm against it. I shout about it. I rail against it, but I can't stop them. They are what they are.
You and I should do sometime. Yeah, like right now. Drink. Hey, Will's probably old enough.
Oh.
I think we can get Will to go buy some liquor for us.
Put it right in front of the camera.
Put it right in front of the camera. So, hey.
Heck with Sonic.
That's right. Heck with Sonic. You lost it. You and I should figure out. I don't know you have more pull in this regard. Well, you got more pull here than I. But what about a summit that is for conservatives, but you invite, instead of inviting the Nick Searcy's and the James Woods and them, we invite the Michelle Wolfs, and we invite all of the libs, and ask them to come and talk to us about,
It's a great idea, and your buddy Dave Rubin does that all the time on Twitter.
Right. Did you ever get a reply? Okay, all right. Well, I'll push him then.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's
we
great.
should tell people what Dave does. What Dave does is, Dave is a former liberal. He's now kind of this. He's right of center.
Yeah. He calls himself a classic liberal. Is that fair to say?
Classic liberal. He leans libertarian. He's a gay man. He lives in California. He's now traveling around the country with Jordan Peterson and some on his own. But that's what he tries to do. He tries to bring people from all perspectives in and just get them to have a conversation. I would love to have a conversation with some of these people that are just so far off on the left.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't know if they talk to us or not.
They would. We'll see.
This is the last segment for the hour.
No, I wanted to ask you something.
Oh.
So did Bags just leave?
No, he's somewhere else in here. He's got another client. They asked to pay him.
Seriously?
That's what he said.
His card is right there.
He told you he had another client.
He had another client who he's gotta go hang out with. But we sound good. That's what he said.
Isn't the whole point of being here that we get the guests that are here and the names and the
Don't
players?
get me started. That's what he told me about because I objected to being here.
But if you're here and you're talking to a whole bunch of people,
Yes. And his commitment at lunch was, well, I'm going to be there, so I'll get your guests. So yesterday or the day before yesterday, I sent Angie a list of people I wanted to talk to. Now, I knew some he wouldn't be able to talk, but I wanted to make the point.
doesn't matter.
He's putting edge and he's I'm taking care of the problem. So there's some duties for no reason at all.
Because we were so sad.
Hmm?
Look at this, it's so sad.
It is sad, isn't it?
It's just creepy. Just throw this away. This is nice.
Each new segment, it should fall down a little more into the and you watch it in like fast motion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, can you just like get behind the curtain and let it just start kind of sagging? I'm gonna get a picture of this because Spence and I are gonna have a heart-to-heart conversation.
I mean, you could put it back up.
And I'm gonna turn in an expense report for my project.
Is the station too loud?
Not for me, but I'm deaf.
So you're the whatever that they have here. Yeah.
It is the studio.
Studio.
No, I'm actually.
Oh, actually is the studio.
Yeah. It's just extra left over.
No, this doesn't have the hearts on it though.
The hearts.
Yeah, because it has like the knifer in the middle, doesn't it? Photograph.
No,
Hey Drew, look in the studio. Are there hearts on the wall?
Are we gonna
What
finish
are you
this?
doing? What are you doing? Okay. Well, I just didn't know what you wanted to do, so I got you in. Huh? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Should I tell my wife to pick me up at 6 or 7? What's her?
At 6.
So what?
So why didn't you bring a whiteboard's like in live spark right
I didn't think about it. I'm not on camera, which I'm okay with. I found a muffin. Just found it.
So you're just appropriating the muffin now?
Yes. It was here. I checked. It said it was safe. This morning.
You know how much I appreciate you doing this.
Here.
We need to give more plugs to the.
What's your take?
I think she's really, really smart. I think she's gotten ahead of herself, not media savvy enough.
That's the sense I get.
I wanted to talk to her, but she's not be around to talk about everything. She was on my list. We kind of got to know each other a little bit on Twitter, and I sent her a couple messages a couple of times. Just, I probably shouldn't do it, but it was kind of like trying to get her to deliver her advice.
God, this commercial's going forever. I try to listen to Boston, but when it's like, if he's on a commercial break, I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Have you really paid attention to those characters?
I mean, I just know he's
He
near the
goes,
top.
he goes for like his talks like divided up into thirds. So he'll have a break that's 20 minutes long. It's totally absurd. Totally absurd.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you guys on break?
Pardon?
Should be coming back in a second.
Going lead?
Yeah. Hi, Michael Brown.
I'm Todd Bontrager.
Oh, nice to meet you, Todd.
The Patriot League.
Pardon?
The Patriot League.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good.
We have a little
Good.
booth here, so just checking you guys out and seeing when you kind of had intermittent guest speakers on and off, or
Oh, no, we're just chatting tonight. That's all we're doing. Yeah.
All right.
Just sitting here chatting.
Very good.
Christian. Hi.
You're
Christian Toda.
Okay. Locally here.
What's that?
You're locally here, or
Yeah.
you're with the kid? Okay. Super. All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. You ready? Hey, welcome back to the Michael Brown Show. We're broadcasting live this evening from the Colorado Convention Center at the Western Conservative Summit. Christian Toto has come out to sit and visit with us again, simply because I pay him so much.
That's right. I didn't know what to do with all this money.
I know. Well, you need to spend it somewhere, so you spend it on parking, right? We haven't given out the website, hollywoodandtoto.com, and on Twitter at hollywoodandtoto. You made a comment about your panel that I found fascinating. It wasn't so much questions as it was people with their frustrations.
I was really surprised by that. And some of the questions were a little bit on the legislative side, which I don't know enough about to really
That's
answer.
not your
Yeah, it's
forte,
not my thing.
Yeah.
And I try to answer the best I could, but yeah, it was just angry. They weren't angry, and I think it's unfair to kind of call them angry questions, but the pent-up frustrations. Maybe it's partly just what I said, but also
What did you say?
I mean, just say what I always say. Say what I say
Right.
here. But it's just amazing. People are just furious, and and the fact that the whole Roseanne scandal with the Samantha Bee Munn scandal.
Right.
It was like just a Klieg light on the double standard that nothing changes, nothing happens. It's very frustrating, and I get that. I feel that same way. Someone asked me, "What do I do? What do I think?" I'm like, "I'm with you. I agree with you. It's amazing what's going on. It's amazing how bad the media is." I wake up each morning, I look at my Twitter feed, I'm like, "Oh, the media got worse today." I mean, this Melania Trump thing where she's missing. Brian Stelter on CNN. There's never been a human being with less self-awareness than him. I can't imagine. He wakes up, he reports on Melania being MIA. She pops up. Conservatives complain, "Why are you covering this?" And he says, "We didn't cover it." I don't know what planet he's on.
Right. I just finished a piece for The Hill, and I was a week late. Editors love that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they wanted me last week to write about the start of hurricane season. And, last week we had the wildfire breakout, and,
You've got a lot on your plate.
I could have cared less about writing an article for The Hill. I was more concerned about the house.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the evacuation order's been lifted, and Tamara's probably going to head down and just see how much. The house didn't sustain any damage, but I'm sure we've got some smoke problems and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. So I didn't do the piece because they wanted me to write a piece about the start of hurricane season and how preparedness FEMA, etc. So I never wrote the piece. I wrote Christine, my editor, and just said, I'm sorry, I still have time to do this. But after texting, I should say, I was texting somebody in Washington, and we were making arrangements for a meeting and stuff, and then the Trump meeting occurred at FEMA. The whole purpose of that briefing that is held every year is for the president to get a first-hand brief from not just FEMA headquarters and the FEMA staff about what they need or how prepared they are, but how are the states? How long the states along the Atlantic coast and the Gulf Coast, how prepared are they, and what should we be looking at? I did a LexisNexis search. Do you know how many stories there were about the FEMA briefing of the president about hurricane season? Oh, yeah, there was one from, I think, the Miami Herald, the Orlando Sentinel, a couple of stations in Houston covered it, New York Times, nothing, Washington Post, nothing, Wall Street Journal, nothing. I mean, none of the big papers, nothing. And I saw nothing on TV. You know why? because that was the day that Trump had tweeted about self-pardoning, and Melania went to the briefing, as did the EPA administrator Scott Pruitt. So that was Scott Pruitt and whatever controversies he's engaged in. Melania shows up with the president, and the president had a tweet that morning. Nothing about it. So my whole story changed completely to, you know, which I have a bugaboo about. I don't know why we focus on hurricanes so much, because we've got the National Severe Storm Center in Norman, Oklahoma. We've got the Interagency Fire Center in Boise, Idaho. We've got the USGS, the U.S. Geological Survey. We've got the Earthquake Center out here in Golden. We have all these other places for all these other natural disasters. And there's a tornado season. Now, tornadoes can occur any time of year, but so can a hurricane. We've got wildfire season. We've got all these other seasons. But there's always this focus on just hurricanes. And so I went through in the story, which will probably do on Monday, about the media just focuses on that because it gives them a chance on the Chiron to talk about, oh my gosh, look at all the storms coming, or, you know, how many people are going to die this year or whatever. And they ignore all the other disasters. They ignore all the other stuff that goes on. So it was interesting how my perspective changed, because I didn't care about it. Then when they came back and said, hey, is everything okay? Can you write? Oh, yeah, I can write, but it's not going to be the story you originally wanted. It's going to be an entirely different story.
So the message for people is always miss your deadlines.
Always miss your deadlines, and you come up with and you get a better idea. You get a better story. So for you who imposes your own deadlines,
that's right.
You know, if you just wait a while, sleep on it, you'd have a better story, and we might actually sleep. Yeah.
I might tweet.
Medical induced sleep. Oh man, I guess I just find it fascinating that there was all of this. You called it anger. I wasn't there, but you know, I think was it effective? Was it?
It was just people were very calm. It was frustration.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you were a liberal and the entire press was right of center, constantly carping on things you don't care about, and constantly attacking you, accusing you.
It's got to be frustrating for you when they ask you, like, what can we do, or what, you know, what's going to happen, or whatever. You and I discuss it every week, and we don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, there's things you can do, but you know, what if you're not a novelist, you're not a screenwriter, you're not a video person, you're not a podcaster, you're not a creative type of person, people who are not creative types, and how do you kind of engage in the culture world when you can't contribute something of consequence?
Right.
You can do Kickstarter, there's other things you can do. It's hard.
Right. You hear that music? Yeah, play your song.
I can't hear that well.
First hour done.
Huh?
It's kind of low in this. So
Do I have time to go to the restroom?
Yes. We have 6 minutes? Yeah.
So it's the best way for me to get out.
How's it going there? Cool. I like getting out early.
I mean, is this sort of floor bustle normally?
I don't know. Michael said that no one would be here. Well, I think Sessions was here today. I thought he was. But he said this is the time people usually go out, drink or whatever. Oh, it actually is dinner break. It's dinner break for like the next 2 hours.
Peter Shintoko.
Yeah.
Yes, hi. I heard you talking earlier.
Oh,
Yes.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, A, of course, you sound exactly in person like you do in the radio. What else, right?
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And I sound like my dad, so it's, if he were still alive, he'd sound just like that.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, my wife tunes you in every afternoon on the radio show.
Oh, great.
And,
Thank you.
who are you on with?
I'm on Mike Rosen and Michael Brown. So.
Michael Brown. Yeah.
I was here.
It's great.
It's
It's
fun.
great. We enjoyed it a lot.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I love it. So.
And I did see the movie The Promise.
Oh, did you like it?
I loved it.
I thought it was really good. I was surprised how
Awesome.
good it was. Romance and action and adventure and some mystery. I thought it was like really old-fashioned in a good way.
Kind of a history buff, so I knew about the Armenian genocide. But knowing about it,
Yeah.
seeing it,
Very different. Very
I
different.
had no idea that the movie didn't do that well at the box office.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. And you know that's a lot. That's an expensive movie. That's not like a cheap set. That's like
sure.
you know,
Yeah.
locations and cast and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, it did very poorly, unfortunately.
Obviously, I'm different than the rest of the public. I heard about the movie, and there was no way I was going to miss it. But anyway, thanks for all your commentary. It's
Sure.
great.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank your wife too, please.
I'll have to take a selfie. I'm not good at taking selfies.
Nor am I.
Well, okay. Actually, I have one of me and my grandson here. That's about that's about as good as I get. How about if I just take a picture instead?
Okay.
That's good. That's for Sandy. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Sorry. Me stand in front of you.
Please,
Be
no
like
more.
a human.
I think it's over. It's over.
Yeah. So this mic is hot. So, because we can't figure out the audio.
Okay.
So everyone that's watching on YouTube can hear everything. So they can't hear you guys very well because you're so far away. Actually, I wonder if we just move
So
this
like it's hot
closer.
right now.
Yes, it is hot right now.
I probably should have known 10 minutes ago. I don't know
I
what it
know where else to put this. This is very tall.
Can we give Dwayne a headset for
Sure. Yes.
1 second?
Can I pull that chair over?
You may.
This mic is the one that's feeding YouTube, so it's going to be hot all the time.
Oh.
Going to be or has been?
It has been. I mean, they can't hear you guys over there, but like when they're over here, they can hear them fine.
So we just need to figure it out. I'll putz with it. We'll figure out some way to use it. Whoop. All right.
Is this the one I'll be using?
Hey, welcome back to the program, everybody. We're broadcasting live this evening from the Western Conservative Summit at the Colorado Convention Center And before I bring Christian back on, I'm going to give you a break for just a few minutes, Christian. I walked over by the Americans for Prosperity booth, saw some friends of mine, and hogtied Dwayne Lester to come over and talk to us for a minute about AFP. I've done a lot of events for Americans for Prosperity, and I appreciate you guys always reaching out to ask me to MC an event or whatever, and I really do appreciate that. So I want to, when I was talking, and they were like, "Oh, get Dwayne over there as fast as quick, get Dwayne over." So what do you do?
Well, I'm the strategic director for the Grassroots Leadership Academy, which is part of the Americans for Prosperity Foundation side.
Oh, okay.
And what I do is I work in 10 different states in the country, including Colorado, but I've also got Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Kansas, Montana, and Alaska. So it's a lot of ground to cover. But what we do is we're basically like a free society activist factory. Think of it like that. We'll come into town and we'll work with the activists there to teach them the principles of a free society, teach them how to communicate those principles, because knowing them is one thing,
right.
Communicating them, that's another. And then we'll teach them all the skills that they need to know to be able to tell an effective story, change people's hearts and minds, and then build a ground activist core to start making real change in their communities.
So do you rely upon then, like Jesse and the AFP group here, do they start these groups and then you come in, or do you start the groups? I guess I'm trying to figure out how does it work in the field.
A lot of times the foundation office, the people from the foundation in the States, they'll start working with other groups and they'll just put together a class, and so we'll come to town and work with that class.
Does it have to be a big class, small class?
Well, we usually, when we come to town, we're talking, it's all relative.
Right.
So for us, if we have 15 people in a room, we're happy to come and talk to them.
Yeah.
If we get 10 of the right people,
right.
You can have 1,000 butts and seats and not create any value.
Gosh, you know that? You're right. We know politics too well, right?
Right. So it's for me, it's not about how many people are there; are the right people there, and that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. And so, do you rely upon the local AFP chapters to then find those people? I mean, I'm trying to drill down and understand. So, if you were going to conduct a class in Denver or some suburb of Denver, do you rely then upon Jesse and the group here to identify, or do you guys I assume I kind of gather you're a regional VP kind of person.
That's a good way of looking at it. But we have people on the ground. We work with the Americans Prosperity Foundation staff that's on the ground, and traditionally they'll be the ones that will put these groups together. But there are also times when I'm sorry
to interrupt. So does AFP Colorado then have, as part of AFP Colorado, is there a subset of that's the foundation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
No, and give you a great example. I was in Greeley, I believe, not long ago, here on Greeley to talk about another issue altogether. I don't remember what class we were talking about, but after the class, I talked with them and said, this would be a great group that we could come in and do a 6-week certification with, and we could do it differently than we've done before. And so that was one of those instances where having the GLA staff on the ground, we were able to recognize an opportunity and make something happen. We also were working on the ground in San Angelo, Texas, and it was GLA staff who saw, there's opportunities here where we can make this happen. So I would say a majority of the time we're talking about state level staff who are seeing the opportunities, but then there are those instances where we're recognizing where value can be created and we take action on it also.
Yeah. What's the ultimate, I think I know, but I want to hear you say it.
Right.
What's the ultimate goal in educating or certifying small groups of 10, 15 people here and there?
Right. The idea, our mission, to be quite clear about it, is to educate and empower individuals to advance a free society in which coercion is limited and a bias towards liberty prevails. Now, we're not going to, you may have 200 or 300 people in there, and they can listen to a speech and they'll say that was really nice, and they'll go home and they'll turn the television off and they'll forget about it. Right. But if you can get 10 or 15 people who are passionate about this and they want to actually apply what they're learning, those 10 or 15 people will go out and find 3 people. And those 3 people will go out and find 3 people. There's a great quote from Cesar Chavez about how he organized. And they said, how did you get so many people around you? And he said, I only know one way. You talk to one person, and then you talk to one person, and then you have an impact. So the ultimate goal is to create that free society where coercion is limited and people say, you know what, we could probably do with a little more liberty.
So let me ask you a loaded question.
Lay it on me.
When I look around and I see so much more coercion everywhere.
Right.
Are we making headway or not making headway?
You know, there are times when I sit in classes with people and I will take a very extreme, almost anarchist position just to get people out of their comfort zone. And I've watched people who are traditionally more of the mind. There's a mindset out there that if government doesn't do it, it won't get done.
Right.
And so when I take that extreme position just to shake them out of their comfort zone a little bit, then we can get people to understand, wait, there are other institutions that can handle this. Community could handle this. Business could handle this. Education can handle this. It doesn't have to just be government. Then you can make those changes. And one of my favorite stories, I was in Indiana, took a really extreme position on education to shake people out of their comfort zone. And I had a really back and forth with this woman who was adamant that this was, this is the way it had to be. And I let it go on because I wanted everyone in the room to hear this. After the training, she came, I'm talking to some other folks, and I see her making a beeline across the room for me, right? So I'm like, okay, here it comes. And she walks up to me and she says, you're the most libertarian person I've ever met. You're just like 100% libertarian. And you're making me think.
Mission accomplished, right?
I looked at her and I said, ma'am, you say the sweetest things.
Yeah. I get frustrated. I say this in my program a lot, so my listeners will oh, here he goes again. I wonder sometimes whether, writ large, and I know this is a generalization, whether American citizens have the capacity to live in liberty anymore.
I've often said that, and I've said this in my trainings, before I usually take one of those really wild positions. I'll say a lot of people don't know what real freedom looks like, and if they saw it, it would terrify them.
It would.
And I think that's a fact. But we didn't get where we are today overnight.
Right.
There was a time when the idea of an income tax would be, torches and pitchforks.
Right.
And we didn't get where we are today from there overnight. And it's going to take a little bit of time. And there was a great breakout today where they were talking across the fence to your neighbors. You're not going to get through to people in that first conversation. It might be the 10th or 20th or 30th conversation. It takes time. It took time for us to get where we are today from where we started. It's going to take time to get back. There's a concept called Overton's window, which I'm sure you're familiar with. I will operate outside that window to get people to think.
Of course.
To get things done, you've got to operate inside that window.
Absolutely.
And to move that window back towards freedom, it's going to take a long, long time. And really, I had someone in my training look at me one time when I was taking these positions. He said, well, how long do you think, when do you expect to see this? I said, I don't expect to see this. I hope my grandchildren see this.
Right. Do you think, so encourage me, not just encourage me, are we making, and I hate the term progress for obvious reasons, but are we making inroads in that direction?
I have hope. I see people across the country who inspire me. I'm going to be speaking on the main stage later, and I'm going to tell this story. I'll tell you now. I was in Alaska, of all places. I was in Alaska, and this guy came up to me, and we were talking. And I've been in Alaska. I trained 4 days. He was at all 4 trainings, and he said, "I have friends of mine who say that they're giving up. They're giving up on the liberty movement." And I said, "Well, what'd you say?" He said, "I looked at them, and I thought of my grandma. My grandmother fought for civil rights in the 1960s, and she received a letter from the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan in South Carolina threatening her life if she didn't stop." And I thought, no one's threatening us.
Dwayne, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
You bet. If you can support AFP, do it. Get online. Search Americans for Prosperity. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Nice to meet you, too. You see, sometimes you just gotta find your own guests. Do what? No, I just happened to walk back from the restaurant, and I saw a friend of mine with AFP that I was speaking with. Jesse Malcolm. Jesse. Anyway, he runs the local Colorado chapter of AFP, and I said, Jesse, and he said, Dwayne,
here.
We probably as well. I wasn't going to do anything, but
You were taking photographs of me.
you might do
Are
that.
you sneaking pictures?
Absolutely. I'm going to sell them.
Well, in that case, I'll make it worth the time.
Make a mint.
So, Storker, you said not to go look for people.
Hmm?
You said not to go look for people.
I wasn't looking.
So I guess you get this a lot, but I think you're calling upon it yourself with your tattoos. But what? Can you tell me a little bit about
This?
what's going on?
Just breathe.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it gets lost over there.
And will this arm become like that? I mean,
No, I don't think so.
You're done?
Fuck that. Well, I'm not done with this one. I still got it under here, which sucks. So it's painful.
what inspired you?
So it started with The Little Mermaid. So I used to watch The Little Mermaid when I was younger. At the time, I felt more connected to like that kind of free-spirited kind of thing. And then my artist was like, "We should do this and this and this," and it just kind of grew into this thing. And like my brother always told me Pooh Bear when I was little, but Tigger was my favorite. Tigger was in the back. And then
Who's that right here? Is it Christopher Robin?
This is Eric from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. Oh, sorry.
So it's supposed to be like based on The Little Mermaid.
Right.
So we got Ursula. This is the flowers where she's like, she loves me, she loves that. And then Eric's castle. And then these guys are just along for the ride. And this is the heart of Tafiti from Moana.
Oh, wow.
Because I like that story.
Yeah.
And then the compass is for Bravo.
Very cool. Thank you for the tour.
Stop now, then. It'd be better.
Taylor, ask your mom if Ella's still watching. Thank you for letting me do that. What are you going to talk about next?
No view clips.
Well, I can find one.
There was a
We
doozy.
can play view clips.
There was one.
if you
I think I
want audio.
tweeted you this week. It was Sonny Hostin said something really. I definitely tweeted at you. I don't know. It was like
Oh yeah, I retweeted it. Yes.
Monday or Tuesday. It was early in the week.
Ooh, everyone's talking about Jeff Sessions. And Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, apparently Jim Carrey tackles Jeff Sessions, zero tolerance to immigration.
Oh yeah, he's been doing the bar work the last few weeks.
Yeah. It's all over Twitter now. It's trending. Charles Frothamer says he only has weeks left to live.
She said she is sad.
She's not. Oh, okay.
We'll be done at 6.
Dwayne Lester. I live in Northwest Missouri. I am senior director for the Grassroots Leadership Academy. I help facilitate and schedule and train grassroots activists.
Did you see about Quantico? The episode? Something about bombing, sending nuclear bombs to Minnesota?
2006.
No, I didn't hear about that.
It's in the Moments today. This is
And he wrote, "Good parent says that there must be trouble. Let it be in my day, so my children can be friends." And when I read that, I had 4 kids, and I thought, we have trouble in our day.
You want to see pictures of my baby?
What good is knowledge?
Then you have a love child.
Hmm?
Did you see his Instagram?
There's just the dog.
It's a new dog?
Just Greta
Yeah.
the dog.
You had little dogs for a while, right?
Right.
Now you got a
Oh,
new
you
dog.
didn't know we got this?
No.
Oh.
When was the last thing out? Because you had like 18 St. Bernards.
Yes.
Then you went small.
Yes, and the last St. Bernard's been dead like 3-4 years.
Right. But then you had little dogs.
And we still have Tamara still has her little dogs.
Okay.
But Tamara got me this, it's called a Leonberger.
Leonberger?
Yeah, it's a German dog.
Oh, wow.
She's
I've
4
never
months
s-
old.
Oh, my goodness.
She'll be maybe 120, 140.
Oh, I
Maybe
love
she
it.
is.
My wife would divorce me. We're going to have such a huge fight with that dog. Oh, my God.
They're,
I've never seen that dog
water.
before. Are we on?
Yeah, we're coming back.
Is this 2?
Yes.
Okay. I guess.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Can I ask for marital advice?
You may.
So we have a dog, and she is a puggle, and she is older.
Now, what's a pug? I've heard about.
Pug and a beagle.
Okay.
Yeah. Little Jamie.
Yeah.
And she's older. She's like 13, could be 14. So
Right.
she doesn't have a lot more years left.
What do you think? Average? What do you think?
How much time she has left?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's got a terrible cough. Like she actually is as plucky as she's always been. So it's hard to tell.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so I'm already.
Yeah, I have no idea where this is going. Aren't you fat kind It's a pug.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
that's my dog.
All right.
With gray hairs.
Okay.
Our dog.
All right.
Gray.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm already thinking toward the next dog because that's kind of great. That's what I do. Because, you know, so I've always wanted a boxer, and we had a boxer when my wife and I first got married. It was a boxer mix. And she had,
This is easy.
No. Trust me. Continue. So my wife was not a dog person. Then we got this boxer, and she was troubled. I think she had some abuse. And we could never really save her. So we had her for a few years, and we just couldn't. She was attacking people. It was bad. So then we got this puggle, and then my wife, who seemed to love our first dog, even though the dog was very troubled, all of a sudden doesn't love dogs anymore because she's got kids now. She's got 2 little boys.
Yeah.
So I desperately wanted a dog when Jenny girl leaves this
Right.
planet of ours.
Right.
And my wife desperately does not have it. Now, if I get a Great Dane, she would divorce me. I get that.
How about a
Big
mastiff?
dog.
How about a mastiff?
Divorce.
St. Bernard?
St. Bernard's divorce.
Leonberger?
I'm trying to.
Miniature
How do I
schnauzer?
navigate?
Miniature schnauzer?
So for my last birthday, I bought one of those Roomba type things.
Oh, yeah.
To vacuum. I was
Right.
like, okay, I am squandering my birthday on this because I want to have a cleaner house, and if we have future dogs, it'll
Do it.
plus boxers, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I-
but they still.
They still.
Yeah, there'll still be little tiny hairs everywhere.
Plus, our current dog eats the mealworms that the chickens eats the eggs if we don't get them quickly enough. So the dog's a pain. I get that.
Kind of like you.
I have to have a dog, and my wife is dead set against it. So how do I navigate this?
The kids. Do the kids want a dog?
Yeah, but they're not very passionate about it. That's a great idea, though.
They need to come over to our house. bring your 2 little snot-nosed boys.
Indoctrinate them in your wonderful dogs.
And yes, let them play with Greta for a while, and because Greta loves kids so much that in the evenings when we walk her, she now figured out where the playground, and she will instantly, whether the kids are there or not, she pulls us up to the playground because she wants to see the kids. So they could kind of run around the yard with her. They could love on her, and they could get slimed a little bit, and they could decide that they really want a dog. And then, so now you don't have to fight the battle. The kids get to fight the battle.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
You like that? See, I'm an old folk. See, I've been down this road before.
There's some wisdom.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wisdom there. Because I want you to have a dog.
I want to have a dog. I can't imagine not having a dog.
I can't imagine if you like that.
Also, when you live in Denver, you have to have a dog. I mean, at least one. Denver is dog crazy.
Well, I thought that was a state rule. I didn't think that was I don't think it's a Denver rule. I think it's a state rule.
Okay.
Yeah, state rule.
It's
Yeah. It is.
Okay.
It's very rule.
I'll keep you
the
posted
kids.
on this process.
And I'm dead serious. If they want to come over and meet Greta, they're welcome to come over and meet Greta.
Now, is Greta one of your existing dogs, not the new dog?
Greta's the new dog.
Oh, okay.
Because Leonbergers are a German dog. So we decided, and she's a female, so we decided to look up German names.
I love people names for dogs.
Yeah. Greta. Greta. Greta, it was about 20-some pounds when I picked her up, and she's... I wanted to find
What
out.
time is it
I
right now?
didn't want to. Well, actually, somebody in response to this picture said, "Oh, what a nice."
Horse.
No, what was it? That photograph is a nice picture of your pool today. That will be your drinking bowl in 2 weeks. Yeah. So I got on the scales, weighed myself, and then picked her up. She's now 56 pounds. Yeah.
How many weeks has it gone by?
She's getting close to 5 months old. She's 4.5 months old.
She's chocolate.
She doesn't like the heat. So she's a little wild in the mornings when it's cool. Pretty puppy. And then she crashes during the day. She sleeps in the vents. So she just sleeps with the cold air blowing. And then she, as we call it, cracked out. She gets cracked out in the afternoons. Usually about the time I get home, Tamara's ready to kill her and to kill me. And so then I take her on the walk and let her calm down.
You know, my wife and I are different politically, but I almost think the greater divide is the fact that I'm a dog person and she's not.
Oh, I imagine so.
It kills me.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, every once in a while, she's like, she's not happy that I'm conservative. And she thinks about it way more than I think about her being liberal. But I think way more about the fact that she's not a dog person. Like, it just seems weird. How could you not be a dog person? Look at them, they're so beautiful. And she loves chickens. We have chickens now, so we
have chickens, and she's a liberal. I would think liberals and dogs are just kind of
close.
Use your children.
But then I'll say, okay, I'll get mad. I go, okay, no dog, no chickens. And she'll say, fine.
Oh no, you don't do that. No, you never make those kinds of threats.
I got weak at one.
You never make those kinds of threats.
I didn't mean Dr. Brown,
what would happen if a dog just wandered into the yard? Would you call the dumb friends league?
No, but we had a Gosling kid. We kept the Gosling for 3 years. It's a little tiny little.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. It was so cute, and when the ducks follow the mommies.
Yes.
They were following my son. And then he escaped one day. Like, I don't know who he was.
I had a text message. I was just texting, checking to see if the text was from Tamara about anything I may have said in the past 5 minutes that I was in trouble.
You good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Maybe I'll ask your wife for advice too. Because this has got to happen, and I don't want to lose my marriage over it. And she jokes, and she's like, I think she's joking. Okay, you're going to stay in the shed.
And I think the other key is not getting a puppy.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Puppies are tough.
Yes, trust me. Because part of the deal with this dog was that until it gets to be the old lazy, I shouldn't say old, but the big lazy dog that these dogs are, I'm responsible. And
so who navigated the purchase of this?
Tamara did.
But then she shoved it onto you?
Well, that was part of the deal. Yeah,
okay.
We'll do this, but you have to deal with it.
Say, who wears the pants in this family?
Well, I thought that was clear. I've never denied that. I've never denied that. Freely admit that. I came to grips with that about 30 years ago, maybe longer.
I will keep up to date on the dog situation.
Okay, yeah.
But right now, Janie Girl is alive and well.
Well, we've got one that's in between. Like 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really sad. It's very sad.
That's wild.
We may or may not be back. I don't know. That was a great segment. That was really good. So, Richard, we're not doing any candidates.
No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. If I start down that path,
it's a shit show. I know.
Yeah.
The Bullfighting PC show.
She's not listening, is she?
Never.
Okay.
I'm totally safe, trust
Totally safe. Yeah, she'd never listen to us, right?
I think I told you after the election of Trump, she
Yeah.
started listening. She wanted to catch me saying something pro-Trump.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. That was, might have been the worst 2
Who are
weeks of
you?
my marriage.
Colin.
Hi, Colin. Michael Brown.
Got me tickets.
Oh,
to meet
we
you.
did. We got
Yeah.
you tickets?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, good.
Is there dinner? Can you get in there?
Is there dinner?
Yeah.
If there is, you need to go get us some right now. I'm hungry because I'm ravenous.
I think it's at 5:30. I don't know if we can get it though.
All right, so what do you do?
I'm about to start medical school next year.
Really?
Or next month.
Here?
In
Where?
Detroit.
In Detroit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been listening to you for the last 2 years while I'm taking my gap year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do like a driving job. So.
What did you get your undergrad in?
Ecology and evolutionary biology at CU.
Really?
Up in Boulder. Yeah.
Excuse me just a second. So, doctors in the family, or is this just something you wanted to do? Or?
Just something I wanted to do.
Really? Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
So, why Detroit?
That's the best school I got accepted to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Good.
it seems fun now.
Yeah. Our son teaches at the medical school here at Anschutz.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed there. Unfortunately, didn't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome.
He's not on the committee, so you can't blame him. He's not either.